As long as I can remember, watching films has been more than just entertainment. It's been a window into new perspectives. It's fascinating how a single scene or dialogue can spark a deeper understanding of the world or even change how I see certain things. And the majority of those movies that have made me feel this way are that of the sci-fi genre. Today, I'm excited to share why I fell in love with sci-fi and why, if you haven't yet explored it, you should absolutely give it a shot. In this video, I will be showcasing the movies that only deepened my love for sci-fi and the lessons and themes I enjoyed while watching it. It is spoiler-free, and I tried to include some less popular names, but you might recognize a few of them, as I just had to put them on this list. Dune, a series I knew almost nothing about until just a couple of months before the release of the first film. Yet, from the moment I saw it, I was hooked, and Dune Part 2 has only deepened my fascination for it. This epic adaptation of Frank Herbert's iconic novel transports you to the vast, desolate world of Arrakis, where political conflict, power struggles, and the mystical nature of spice fuel a captivating story of survival and destiny. Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune begins and continues the journey of Paul Atreides, as he is deemed a prophesized leader who must navigate the dangerous intentions of the Emperor and enemies that shape his world. It shows how one person's actions can ripple across civilizations, and it also represents intimate moments of personal transformation. The rich world building, combined with its philosophical themes, makes Dune more than just a sci-fi spectacle. It's a brilliant representation of leadership, humanity's relationship with nature, and the cost of power. I also have to mention that in both movies, it has a stellar cast. Too many to list them all, but every single one delivers a wonderful performance. Building on that, there are certain films that resonate on a much deeper level. Ones that linger in your thoughts long after the credits roll. These are the movies that quietly challenge you, inviting you to see the world differently. One such film for me, and the first film that I saw of its kind, is Stalker by Andrei Tarkovsky. It's a film that on the surface can seem slow or even confusing, but once you let yourself get immersed in it, it becomes so much more than just a sci-fi story. Stalker takes you through this mysterious, almost dreamlike journey into the Zone. The Zone is a heavily restricted area that seems to defy the normal laws of nature. It is believed to have been created by some unknown extraterrestrial event, and within it, reality is unstable and constantly shifting. The Zone is dangerous, with hidden traps and anomalies that cannot easily be perceived by the human eye. It is said that only a select few, like the Stalker, a guide, know how to navigate it safely. At the heart of the Zone is the Room, a place rumored to grant the deepest desires of those who enter. The real impact comes from the way Tarkovsky explores human nature, desire, and faith. It's not about action or flashy effects, but rather about the quiet moments, the conversations, the tension, the atmosphere. Watching Stalker, I found myself reflecting on my own motivations, on what we all truly seek in life. It's a perfect example of a movie that lets you have both. You can enjoy the journey, and if you're open to it, walk away with something deeper. Now, shifting from one profound exploration of human nature to another, there is Mr. Nobody, a personal favorite of mine. A film that tackles the complexities of life and choice in a more surreal, imaginative way. Mr. Nobody brilliantly plays with the concept of how each decision creates an entirely new path, filled with its own joys and tragedies, and explores the idea that every action has a ripple effect, making it a thought-provoking meditation on free will, fate, and the fluidity of identity. It asks us to consider whether there's such a thing as a right choice, or if life is simply a series of equally meaningful experiences. Through its imaginative narrative and visual storytelling, Mr. Nobody kept me entertained the whole way through, as it captures the beauty and the complexity of the human condition. It left my 16-year-old self just a few years ago reflecting on my own life choices, while also teaching me that there is meaning and value in every path we take. I was really excited to add this one, as I don't often hear it mentioned on any list, but I highly recommend it. Adding to this journey through introspective cinema is Gattaca by Andrew Niccol, a film that explores identity, ambition, and the power of human resilience in the face of a society that relies on genetic code to determine one's success. The story follows Vincent Freeman, portrayed by Ethan Hawke, a man born naturally, like many of us, in a world where those conceived with genetic modifications are considered superior, just like his brother. Despite facing discrimination and physical limitations, Vincent dreams of becoming an astronaut and embarks on a risky journey to defy the system by taking the identity of a genetically enhanced individual. Gattaca raises powerful questions about destiny, individuality, and the human spirit's ability to overcome the many limits set by others. Vincent Freeman challenges the notion and the belief that our genetic makeup is our destiny, and instead emphasizes that determination, grit, and desire can defy even the strictest societal expectations. With its sharp storytelling and very relatable themes, Gattaca left me contemplating what truly defines us. It also makes us question the ceiling that everyone in our life, intentionally or unintentionally, places on us. The film is a reminder of the resilience within each and every single one of us, which encourages us to push beyond what others deem possible.
Shay.
Looper, directed by Rian Johnson, is a sci-fi action thriller that examines the interplay of time, choice, and morality. Set in a future where time travel exists but is outlawed, the story centers on Joe, portrayed by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, a looper, or in other words, a hired gunman, who eliminates targets sent back in time by criminal organizations. Looper cleverly balances its intricate time travel mechanics with some deeply human questions about redemption, legacy, and the cost of change. It also has some very cool action sci-fi sequences. With its gritty aesthetic and layered storytelling, Looper delivers a narrative that's as emotionally resonant as it is thrilling. Bruce Willis, Emily Blunt have some awesome performances in this film. It's one of those movies that whenever I see it playing on TV, no matter how much time is left, I have to watch it. Interstellar by Christopher Nolan. This is clearly one of those films that I mentioned in the beginning. I just could not take out of this list and had to keep just in case there are those small percentage of people who have not watched this. Interstellar is one of my favorite films of all time, and the biggest contributor to my love for sci-fi. It's a film that tackles the vast themes of time, love, on a cosmic scale in the most unique way you can think of. The story follows Cooper, portrayed by Matthew McConaughey, a former pilot and engineer who joins a last-ditch mission to find a new home for humanity among the stars. Interstellar combines awe-inspiring visuals, one of the best musical scores in a film ever, with a deeply emotional plot, reminding us that even in the vast, cold reaches of space, human connections, especially family bonds, are what truly ground us, challenging the purely logical frameworks often applied to scientific endeavors. This film leaves us reflecting on the interplay between human vulnerability and cosmic mystery, making it a uniquely personal yet universally resonant cinematic experience. I never had the chance to watch it in theaters when it first came out, as I was about 11 years old, but on its 10th anniversary, not too long ago from this video's upload date, I finally experienced its glory on the big screen, and it only solidified its spot as one of my favorites. Solaris by Andrei Tarkovsky. This is the second Andrei Tarkovsky film on this list, but yet very different to Stalker. Solaris, from a general perspective, is a story about space exploration, but on a deeper level is an intimate study of memory, guilt, and the human need for connection. The film follows psychologist Chris Kelvin, who is sent to a space station orbiting the planet Solaris that contains enigmatic nature. For Kelvin, this means confronting many mysteries and hallucinations, forcing him to face unresolved grief and emotions he's tried to bury. Like Tarkovsky's other works, Solaris isn't about providing clear answers, but rather about exploring the complexities of the human soul and whether we can ever truly understand others or even ourselves. There seems to be a consistent effect when watching one of Andrei Tarkovsky's films. They always stay with me long after viewing. To me, this is because his films don't just tell stories, they resonate deeply, prompting reflection on life's deeper meanings. Another film that delves into questions of identity and existence is Moon by Duncan Jones. Set in a near future where a man named Sam Bell, portrayed by Sam Rockwell, works alone on a lunar base. As Sam nears the end of his 3-year contract, he starts to unravel disturbing truths about his reality. What begins as a story of loneliness and routine transforms into a gripping examination of what it means to be human when faced with the possibility of being replaced. Moon is a quiet yet powerful viewing experience that I was not expecting to have. It reflects on the ethics of technological advancements through its intimate, claustrophobic setting. Sam's internal struggle really pushes the question: how much of our being is tied to our experiences or memories? Last but definitely not least is Arrival by Denis Villeneuve. This amazing sci-fi thriller offers a contemplative look at time, language, and human connection. The film follows linguist Dr. Lois Banks, portrayed by Amy Adams, who is tasked with communicating with an alien species that has arrived on Earth. As she deciphers their complex circular language, Lois begins to discover something that kept me entertained throughout the whole movie. At its core, Arrival is more than a first contact sci-fi. It's a learning experience of how communication and language shape our reality and understanding of the world. The film explores the inevitability of certain events, posing the question, if you could see your entire life laid out before you, would you still make the same choices? Through its deeply emotional storyline, Arrival makes us think about the nature of time, fate, and the bonds that define us. It's a film where the plot and the characters' interactions alone carry this film and keep you on your seat the whole way through. Denis Villeneuve has said many times that he does not like dialogue, and yet we get some interesting conversations in this film. It's definitely another one of those that you will be thinking about after your first watch. In the end, my experience with sci-fi showed me that this genre has so much more to offer than what I anticipated. Some of the most realistic themes and lessons are found in this genre. They're profound explorations of what it means to be human. They take us from the vast, uncharted territories of space to the gritty edges of dystopian wasteland, all while asking us to reflect on our choices, our identities, and the connections that define us. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you watched it from the beginning to the end. Again, these were the movies I watched that made me fall in love with this genre. It's not to say that they are the best, so please let me know if there's other movies you think deserve a place in this conversation, or let me know if any of these films resonated with you. If you enjoyed it, I would greatly appreciate it if you could like, share, or subscribe, as I want to make more videos like this one.